Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game in my Shimakaze. Uh, Going over the matchmaking. This is looking at double booster. Got a Gearing Z52 and a Shimakaze rounding out the destroyer threats. We're gonna go on ahead and kick this off. Taking a look at the spawn. On this map, I hate spawning south. I usually prefer going to A, but in this case, I've got DDs that aren't interested in going to C cap, so I'm going to go play C and see what I can do. So again, because it's important to get points ticking for my team as quick as possible, I'm popping speed boost. Want to get the cap flipped as quickly as possible, and hopefully give us a chance for a points lead. So taking a look at the mini-map a couple minutes in, this is something that you should do just so you get an idea of what kind of support you've got. It looks like I've got a Gearing that's going middle, I've got a Wooster that's backing me up, and my team is going heavy to A. That's telling me if we get pushed hard from B, we're going to have to fall back and play defensive, regardless of how much we would like to keep C cap. It's always a good practice to take a look at the mini-map a couple minutes in, just to get a general idea of how you're going to have to play. The big thing with destroyers, it's not always so much about making plays as recognizing opportunities to make a play and seeing that window of opportunity where you can make a play and do so at reasonable risk to your ship. That separates the good players from the average and the bad players, because you're not always trying to force the issue. I mean, you only have so many hit points to force a matter. So coming out here, the enemy Z52, this guy's overextended, and if we can capitalize on this situation, he should be dead. The downside is his positioning. He's got the flank of our Gearing, who's getting pinched right now, between the ships out on the one line and this Z52, and he goes down getting torped. But this Z52, he's caught, and if we can hunt him down, we can finish him off and just complete a trade. And this trade is actually pretty good for us. I would rather trade a Gearing for a Z52 on this cap, because of the Z52's ability just to sit in there and just hydro that cap continuously. You add it with even one radar cruiser and everything is permanently spotted in that cap. It makes life extremely difficult. So my Gearing died at A cap, so I'm basically rotating over, and I'm going to be the acting destroyer over here first thing I'm going to do, I want to lay a line of smoke for these cruisers over here. You know, we've got this Yamato that's pushing out, and that can be a real threat to these guys. So anything I can do to make them a little more safe is something that I really want to do. The enemy's got a smoked up, looks like a smoked up Zhao and a Wooster. And this Yamato's, he's starting to pull back into that smoke screen, and that's a lot of firepower in that smoke screen. So I just want to play chill. I'm pretty sure I'm inside radar range for the Wooster. You know, I don't want to, you know, bump out there real aggressive and try to dump torps and, you know, get farmed by all three of those ships. Plus there's a destroyer out there that hasn't been spotted, because that's what made the smoke from the get-go. So I make sure I get the cap, and I pop speed boost, and hoo boy, here we go. We've got a Wooster in my face, and here is why Shimakaze over the other destroyers. This is just another example. Now what I was doing when I was looking forward, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to actually hit anything, wanted to see where my allied ships were, how far they were from me. Now I hate, I'm gonna pause it right there. I hate this in the game, because if you noticed, I was surface spotted. I was on fire, I was surface spotted. That leads me to believe that the radar might have been down. Now, when I repaired the fire, my concealment drops back down to the normal 5.6. However, I'm still radar detected. This is something that they really need to fix in the game. You need to know if you are radar detected above and beyond anything. You need to know if you're plane spotted above and beyond, you know, any surface spotting. At least for destroyers. For stuff that has larger detection, you know, the plane spotting with the over the regular detection icon, that's a little iffy. If I had my way to put this into the game, I would turn this into 3 icons: radar hydro, air spotted, surface spotted, and then your RPF signal. And by doing that, you can tell players completely at a glance how many things are detecting you at once, and that will enable you to make accurate decisions. Me repairing that fire right now is a misplay. And that right there is why Shimakaze. You do not want to chase a Shimakaze if you are, you know, a Wooster or something like that. It can be very dangerous, especially if the guy's running F3 torpedoes like I am. And mind you, I didn't take that much damage for that. And then F3 torpedoes, 30 seconds, they're already back up. So I'm pushing back in. I want to keep this Zhao spotted. He's trying to push back in here to cap, and I don't want that to happen. So I need to light him up for my team, let my team farm him. Team's got some shots coming in finally. And just being patient, let my team get the kill. I mean, I could easily get the kill at this point, but it'd kind of blow my stock on this Yamato. And actually, this plane might detect me here shortly. Nope, I just skirted it. So I'm watching this Yamato. Looks like this Yamato is turning south. So I am dropping short of the indicator because he's turning in. By turning in, he's going to cut the distance to me. And we'll see how those torps do. Yep, he's dead. It doesn't take very long for those torps to reach can't miss distance. And I mean, he's got enough to kill probably 1.5 tier 10 battleships that was gonna hit him. So looking at this game, we're looking at 2 full captures. We've got 2 kills, one on the enemy Wooster, the other on that battleship. Looking at 77,000 damage with a devastating strike. And I am in the process of chasing down a destroyer. This guy basically has flanked all the way around like this. And he was so far out there that I never picked him up on RPF when I came across. And that, if you remembered, I smoked across here because my cruisers were saying in chat that they were spotted. They were actually being spotted from back here and not in front. So, you know, the interesting conundrum that, you know, everybody assumed that, you know, the contact was in front or to the side or something like that. And this guy's been sitting down here almost all game, so. I see this gearing and just gonna push out. Gonna have my speed boost here shortly. The gearing blows the smoke. That's always real handy. It's when ships don't have their consumables, they're weaker. They're easier for you to damage and potentially kill. So always something to think of. The ebb and flow of the battle. He's at his strongest with his smoke screen popped up and, you know, somebody else able to spot me. This destroyer can do a lot of damage to me, and I can't really do that much to that destroyer. So this gearing, he's reversed course, and we got a gunfight on our hands. Now, hold on, let me zoom back out. Well, it's not gonna let me. There we go. Alright, so, oh, for the love of God. Shut up. Well, ain't this a disaster? Alright, there we go. Now it doesn't sound retarded. Sorry about that, guys. Wanted to break down that engagement. I saw this guy coming in. He's headed in this direction. I'm headed in this direction. With my guns on the side that they are, I basically had to turn into this guy. That's not a real good situation for a Japanese destroyer. This kind of range, I mean, you can see he's big time been putting a hurt on me compared to what I've been able to put out on him. The ace in the hole was my torpedoes. By closing in under 4 kilometers, it made him pretty vulnerable to eating torps. Gearing's a pretty thick destroyer. Now, what I did, I started dropping torpedoes way short of the indicator, anticipating this guy was going to either slow down, stop, or try to turn in. And it worked out that that last torpedo, he turned in and aided on looked like the bow of his ship, and that's all I needed to turn the fight. So gonna go ahead and play this out. Gonna stop it right here. Saturation. See how beat up the front of his ship is. See how clean and pristine the back of his ship is. If I shoot and I hit him up here, I'm going to do a fraction of the damage that I would normally do. If I would shoot here, you know, I'd be lucky for 1 HE penetration to do, you know, 300 damage. Back out here, it's going to do probably over 500. So something to think of when you're looking at these ships. Always try to aim for the clean section of the ship to be able to damage it. Now, in the case of gearing, if you look basically at this line all the way down to somewhere right in here, this is all 21 millimeters. My HE cannot actually pen this. So basically what I'm trying to hit is this small little area on the very stern of his ship. That's my target. That's what I'm looking for. So just wanted to highlight this so people understand there's actually something very specific that I'm doing right here. And I mean, you know, almost 1700 volley with you know, those guns coming off there. He's launching desperation torps, but Shimakaze with speed boost active, and it's just not going to happen. So there's the game. Hope you enjoy.